Hey, what's up guys? We are back and we are on week 4 of our Mermay videos. I can't believe it, the month is nearly over. This of course is the 4th installment of this video series, so if you're just joining us now, be sure to watch the other parts in order, because there's like a whole linear story and everything, and it's a whole big thing. It has been such a crazy ride, so much work, more than anything I've ever done for these monthly challenges before, but it's all felt so worth it, and I'm glad you've been enjoying it too. Now, you guys have been asking in the comments of both these videos and my Instagram posts for some sort of book or TV show, and while I'd love to make both of those things, it's a little bit out of the scope of my abilities right now. However, we do have some exciting news about these illustrations and what we are going to do with them after the month is over. We're going to announce that during the final week, or kind of half week, of our Mermay 2020 videos, so stay tuned for that. And there's one last thing I want to disclaim. I am currently recording this at my mom's house. I'm traveling right now, so the audio quality might be a little bit different from what you guys are used to, and you might also hear my mom's dog barking in the background. I'm sorry, there's really nothing I can do about that, so please forgive that, and please enjoy the 4th week of our Mermay 2020 videos. I hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, day 22, the prompt was lost. Now at this point in the challenge, I had been interpreting these prompts less literally and more as themes in the segments of the stories that I've written to accompany each of these pieces. For Lost, I wanted a character that would shift the point of view of the captain in a moment of chaos and uncertainty. There's nothing about the bottom of the ocean that instills a feeling of comfort for humans, and for me especially, the image of some pale, sharp-toothed beast drifting slowly toward me out of the darkness is one of the most unnerving things that I could imagine. Now, I like goblin sharks. I think that in the right context, they're very cool, but let's be honest. If you were lost in some magical undersea cavern and you saw that face swimming at you from the gloom, you just accept your fate. Let's see how the captain reacts to Karina, my goblin shark mermaid.
Following the advice of the dead man, me and my crew have evaded the watchful eye of the warden, and are now working our way through the dark tunnels of Princess Hirsuta. We're looking for someone called Nephromaris, but of course, I have no idea who that is, or even what this creature may be. I'm becoming aware of the lack of warmth in these caves, and the idea of turning around and returning to the well-lit shallows is incredibly tempting, but I need to stay strong. For the crew and for Riker. We have to find him. There's something up there. It's alive. Moving towards us. Oh God. Maybe this is the Nephromaris we've been sent to find.
Day 23's prompt gave me good reason to shift the point of view from the captain in the Mariana Trench back to Riker up in the freshwater. Plate could be interpreted all kinds of different ways, but I couldn't not think about one of the coolest fish alive today, the sturgeon. Now, of course, sturgeons aren't the only fish with armor plating. Especially in freshwater, there are a ton of animals that protect themselves with tough, bony scales. Another fascinating fish that falls somewhere between awesome and terrifying is the goonch catfish. Combining influence from both these animals, I created something that ended up looking a lot more alien than most of my previous mermaid designs. She didn't seem inherently evil though, so I wrote her in as more of a guiding sage character. This was her lore.
In a sense, I'm actually very lucky that I keep encountering these strange creatures. Yes, Grandma Goonch did try to eat me at first, but she can't see very well, so I won't hold it against her. The point is, right when I feel like I have no idea where to go or what to do, I meet these helpful fish that point me in the right direction. She also told me that I should try to walk more. That staying in the water is not only dangerous, but unnatural for a surface person. Human. They're called... I'm called... I'm human.
For the next day, day 24, I wanted to dig up some inspiration that I hoped no one else would have thought of for the prompt antenna. Now, it took a while, but I remembered a very bizarre species of fish that was discovered deep below the ocean, and with that, the story shifted back to the perspective of the captain and her crew. The tripod fish is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. Its pectoral and tail fins have elongated into thin, delicate legs, so to speak, which allow it to rest on the seabed without expending energy. They give off this very neutral, apathetic vibe, and because of their nature as scavengers, I imagine this character being sort of the low-life troublemaker that follows danger, but doesn't really cause it. Here's her lore.
We can't afford to trust any of these creatures anymore. That pale freak was not Nephromaris, and even if it was, I don't regret my decision. When the lives of my crew are at stake, I will not hesitate. In fact, maybe I should have acted on my instincts sooner. We may be out of our element, but these fish aren't so tough. We've caught another one of them, calls herself Grolly. No more wasting time. We are gonna find out where Riker went, and I don't care how many fish we have to kill to do it.
So on day 25, I wanted to make another, like, general enemy kind of character, like the Outskirts Lurker or the Green Drifters. Not really story-relevant characters, more like little beasties that the protagonists have to fight off en masse. I realized that I misspelled the word muck on the prompt list. I spelt it like the Pokemon. But what I meant was, mud, scum, slop, muck. I thought about videos I had seen of deep-sea scavengers that not only live in mud and the silt that coats the bottom of the ocean floor, but also secrete a thick, viscous mucus as a form of self-defense. They're called hagfish, and similar to the lampreys that you see in shallower waters, they have specialized mouths designed for scooping out chunks of flesh from carcasses. It seemed perfect for a horde enemy, hundreds of mouths grasping and tearing and wriggling through the slime. Here's the lore that I wrote for them.
They were everywhere. Slithering out of the bones, littering the gray mud. Trailing behind them, layers of slime and muck. I made the wrong call. I thought we could fight. I thought we stood a chance. There's no doubt in my mind that these creatures were sent by the Abyss people. They were not sentient or cognizant like the rest of them. They were on a mission. Keep us here. They don't want us dead. They want us anchored. But right now we're barely alive. They're circling us outside of the cave that we've sheltered ourselves in, waiting for their masters to come and fetch us. There's no fight to be had. It's over.
I was really excited for day 26's prompt because I knew what I wanted to do from the very first day I came up with it. Corpse. Now, I know that a lot of people were concerned that corpse might refer to Nephromaris, because his claw was being spirited away by Growly in her illustration, but, I'm just going to tell you straight up, Nephromaris is not dead. He shed his shell, and Growly was just running off with the molted claw. There was probably a way I could have revealed that more creatively, but guys, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of running out of steam here. Anyway, for day 26, I wanted to do an animated whale fall, or in other words, a zombie whale that had been rotting at the bottom of the ocean for decades, and supporting the ecosystem with a source of nutrients in the barren abyss. Guys, do yourself a favor, look up whale falls. It's super interesting how many species depend on the death of large animals like whales to survive at the bottom of the ocean. As eerie and creepy as the whole thing is, they're vital to the survival and the entire existence of deep sea ecosystem. Hence, this character was actually a good guy, not a villain. This was her lore.
80 years ago she fell. Her son was ripped from her side. Her family slaughtered around her. They would have hauled her into the maw of that great iron beast if they could have, but the sea was merciful. The storm pulled her body down into the depths, and her gift of life was shared with the denizens of the abyss. Even in death, she continued to give. But the joy she experienced in life, the love she felt, the fear that she concealed, it was all lost. Ground up and burned in a lamp. She didn't have to save us. She had no reason to. I would not blame her if she hadn't. But there is an undying compassion that lives within all of these creatures. A tendency to forgive, to learn, to change. We don't deserve a second chance.
Now, on day 27, I wanted the story to reach a kind of climax. Again, guys, I am improvising all of this stuff. I literally come up with it and write it down as I do each illustration, and sometimes I do several a day, so I will be the first to admit that these stories have a ton of inconsistencies and are lacking a lot. But I will leave the story and characters open for interpretation so that you guys can kind of impose your own story to go along with the rough outline of the world that I've created. Anyway, this design I wanted to feel impactful, like totally different from the rest of the mermaids. I combined a bunch of different animals to create a sort of conglomerate of sea creatures, a deific looking being of power and omnipotence. This was the lore.
People are going to ask questions. They want to know what happened to us, what happened to our ship. What happened to Riker? I wish I had an easy answer for them. Something I could rattle off again and again for the countless reporters that will undoubtedly swarm me once we reach the mainland. But the truth is, I don't even know what happened. It feels like a dream, drifting in and out of consciousness. How much of it was real? How much of it would they believe? I can't tell them the truth. But I have to. There was a reason she let us live. The queen. The matriarch. The ruler of the domain below the waves. She spared us from the wrath of her subjects, despite their somewhat justified conviction of our crimes. True, we were not the hands that speared, the pipes that dumped, the nets that choked. But they see the world differently than us surface folk do. Down there, they're all connected. The actions of one are the responsibility of all, and nothing goes unbalanced or unchecked. Every death yields life, and every life contributes to the whole. And I have to tell our story, no matter how crazy it may sound. It might be the last chance any of us will have to change before it's too late.
I don't need to lie to you guys, on day 28, I just needed a break, so I fudged it a little bit. But like I said, this was kind of the climax, so I thought it would be appropriate to do a sort of group shot with a couple of the characters from the month. So, it's not a new character, but kind of a visual culmination of everything we've seen thus far. So, it's not a new character, but a kind of visual culmination of everything that we've seen thus far. And some exposition to go along with it.
Answers. Okay, you want answers. Well, there are a lot of different kinds of answers. There's the scientific explanation, the one where we use what we think we understand about our world to explain what we've only just discovered. As a scientist myself, I can assure you that that answer will only leave you with more questions, and more questions, and more questions, until you're driven mad with the futility of this endless cycle. There's the answer that people want to hear, which in some cases might be what people call the scientific answer. Well, if that's what you want, then I guess you could say Riker went mad. Whether you believe anything I tell you or not, you must admit there's some legitimacy to a man lost at sea and the effects that that journey may have on his psychology. He lost it. And we can't blame anyone for that. Still not satisfied. Well, I could give you the honest truth. But no one wants to hear that.
Alright folks, I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted. We're not done, not quite yet, but there are only a few days left in May, so get ready. The end is nigh. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we will be doing something special with these characters, something we've never done before, so get hyped for that. But for now, enjoy some of my favorite mermaid designs that you guys have done this past week. I hope you guys are doing alright. Remember, stay inside, quarantine is not over yet. Stay safe, guys, enjoy the rest of May, and I will see you all in the next video.